Let me answer a super theology nerd interesting question.
Okay.
Jana Howerton, why is it that when Satan tempts Jesus, he offers him all the kingdoms of the world, instead of Jesus saying, because he says in Luke 4, I'm going to use the language, he says, they have been delivered to me. Satan says the kingdoms of the world have been delivered to me. And Jesus, who the Bible calls King of Kings and Lord of Lords, doesn't say, no, Satan, you're wrong. They belong to me. He does not say that. He seems to implicitly acknowledge that at that time, the kingdoms of the world literally belong to Satan in some sense. So can I explain this?
Please do.
Oh, it's really interesting. It's called dominion theology. Now, I'm going to read the passage. It says this in Luke 4. Devil took him, Jesus, up and showed all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. Said to him, to you, he says, I will give all this authority and their glory, for it has been delivered to me. I give it to whom I will. This is interesting. Jesus doesn't correct it.
Right.
So Jesus doesn't correct him. Number two, the New Testament calls Satan, quote, the God of this world. Okay. Number three, the New Testament says this world is lorded over by the father of lies. So what the heck's going on? Now, this is going to take me a second, so just like roll with me. You have to listen to me talk a lot.
I like listening to you, so it's good.
You're sweet. Okay. All right. So you got to back up to the book of Jeremiah. This has a crazy answer, and it's going to take me a minute. So just roll here. All right. So the key to understanding this, I think, is if you go back to Jeremiah 32. There's a very interesting, and it's an odd passage about Jeremiah and a guy named Hanamel. This is right before Israel goes into captivity in Babylon, or around that time, Israel's in captivity in Babylon. Now I'm going to read the passage, and it's not going to make any sense, and then I'm going to make my way through it, and you'll be like, I can't believe that's in the Bible. This is Jeremiah 32, starting verse 6. Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came to me. Behold, Hanamel, the son of Shallum, your uncle, will come to you and say, buy my field that is at Anathoth. It's really important. The right of redemption by purchase is yours. Bookmark that. Then verse 8 says, then Hanamel, my cousin, came to me in the court of the garden in accordance with the word of the Lord, said to me, buy my field that is at Anathoth. So basically what God prophesied would happen is happening. Buy my field that's at Anathoth in the land of Benjamin for the right of inheritance. So this is really important. Bookmark this in your head, Live Free Nation. It's acknowledged there's a right of redemption, and then there's a right of inheritance. This is going to blow your mind. And redemption is yours. Buy it for yourself. Do you know where I'm going here? Never mind. Let me keep going. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord. Now, verse 9. And I bought the field at Anathoth from Hanamel, my cousin, laid out the money to him, 17 shekels of silver. I signed the deed, sealed it, got witnesses, and weighed the money on scales. Verse 11. Then I took, now this is really important, I took the sealed deed, it says, of purchase, containing the terms and conditions, the open copy. In ancient Israel culture, whenever you saw, I'll explain this in a second, there were two copies of a deed, a sealed deed and an open deed. And then verse 12, and I gave the deed of purchase to Baruch, the son of Neriah of Mahasiah, in the presence of Hanamel, my cousin. All right, so here's what's going on. This ties together the whole Bible and takes you all the way to Revelation. It explains what's going on in Luke 4. So what's going on here, Jeremiah, the prophet's dad, has probably died. I'm a one-person Bible study. This is great.
I like it.
And the uncle buys the land, seemingly so the family has some money. All right, so now check this out. You've got two deeds, a sealed deed and an open deed. Now, in ancient Israelite culture, there was an open deed to any piece of property so that you could sell it and then you could write somebody's name on it if you sold it to them. So write Hanamel's name on the open deed if you needed to sell the land for money. The sealed deed in ancient Israelite culture, it always stayed with the original family to prove that it belonged to their bloodline. So obviously in ancient Israel, there was a lot of like, hey man, God allotted the portions of the land to the 12 tribes. This land was allotted. So a tribe or a family had that property was assigned to their bloodline. So bookmark this in your head. Open deed, you would give to somebody when they bought the property, but the original owner would keep the sealed deed to prove it was in their bloodline. Then you also have two rights. you've got an inheritance. So what that means is when the uncle would die, Jeremiah gets it back. Uncle dies, the ownership of the property reverts back to the original family so that it stays in the bloodline. And then you've got a right of redemption. If before the time when the purchaser dies, if somebody in the family wants to buy the land back, that's called the right of redemption, would require a, quote, kinsman redeemer. So this is like, this starts, let's see what's going on. A kinsman redeemer. Somebody from the family, why am I getting emotional right now? Somebody from the family that originally owned the property could pay a great price to redeem the property the family had lost and get back to the original family. Now, all the Bible nerds, all the bells are going off in your head, all right? So this passage, Jeremiah 32, it has two meanings. It's got a historical meaning. Essentially, what God's saying is, hey, you're going to be taken out of the land to go to Babylon. And he's promising, but this land is going to belong to you again. It's worth buying property because I'm going to restore you to the inheritance I originally gave you. You're coming back. So that's the historical meaning. But let's go a layer deeper for our super Bible nerds, all right? The book of Hebrews says everything that was written in the Old Testament is for our instruction as a type and a shadow of Christ. Jeremiah 32 is a type and a shadow of Christ. All right, now check this out. This is where it gets nuts, all right? When you talk about dominion of the earth, and we're asking the question, why in Luke 4 is Jesus tacitly acknowledging that Satan has dominion over the world and belongs to him? What the heck? Well, here's what the heck. God is the one who created the world. So dominion of this earth was originally our Father's and stayed in his family, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, okay? Then the book of Genesis says he creates Adam and Eve. Theologians will use the phrase that they were the vice regents of creation. And you go back and read Genesis, he gives them what's called a dominion mandate. He gives them, the Bible says, dominion over the earth to work it and to keep it. So God has original dominion. He passes dominion of earth to Adam and Eve. When he passed it, now I'm coming back to this. What's he talking about? I'm coming back to this. He passes dominion to them, but God keeps the sealed deed because the world,
it's good,
and all that is in it, belongs to our Father. Now, Adam and Eve, they lost dominion when they sinned and obeyed the serpent. They lost that dominion, and dominion was transferred from Adam and Eve, delegated dominion, to Satan himself. This is why, by the way, when in Matthew 4 and Luke 4, Satan can correctly say, all the kingdoms of this world have been delivered to me, and Jesus does not correct the statement. Now, check this out. So what's going on here? Jesus is the firstborn son of the family of the original bloodline of the owner of everything in the world. When Jesus comes on this earth, who is it that has, listen, remember, there's a right of redemption and a right of inheritance. Who has the right of inheritance? That's Jesus.
Yeah,
okay?
He's been redeemed.
The kinsman, okay. But he decides to exercise his right of redemption, buy back dominion of the world when he goes to the cross. Jesus, when he goes to the cross, what he's doing is he's paying the right of redemption. He's paying the redemption price to purchase back the land, the property that was lost by our Father, and bring back authority and dominion to the original family. Now, this is, you go a layer deeper, and this is where it gets nuts. If you go read Revelation chapter 5, everybody's gathered in Revelation 5, and then there's a scroll. It's a double-sided scroll. Now, whenever there was a closed deed, it's a sealed deed and open deed. A closed deed was a sealed scroll, and it was a double-sided scroll, inside and out in ancient Israelite culture. Double-sided scroll. Then you get to Revelation 5, and this is nuts. Revelation 5 is like, all of heaven is gathered. You remember what they're crying out? They're going, man, there's a sealed scroll. They're crying out, who is worthy to take the scroll and to break its seal? And then they say, you have redeemed us back to God. And they're going, who's worthy to take the scroll and break its seal? And then everybody goes, the Lamb who was slain is the only one that was found worthy.
So good. That's so good.
To open the scroll. And what's happening in Revelation chapter 5 is getting a vision behind the scenes in the spiritual realm that the kinsman redeemer of dominion over all the world is stepping forward and saying, I am exercising my right of redemption to buy back what was lost, pays the redemption price as the kinsman redeemer with his own blood, purchases back dominion of heaven and earth, which is why after Jesus is resurrected, it's only after Jesus is resurrected. He's resurrected. And then in Matthew 28, when he gives the Great Commission, he then says for the first time, now all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Why? Because the kinsman redeemer has now exercised his right of redemption. Dominion has been given back to him. Now I'll take it a layer deeper. When Jesus turns to the disciples, he says, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be bound in heaven. And then the New Testament says that Christians will, quote, reign with him. And what that is foreshadowing is that Jesus purchases back the dominion of all the earth. And then for the new sons and daughters of God, for Christians who have been adopted into his family, he goes, I'm now giving you dominion. And I want you to go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. So listen, dude, you take the Bible, you pull on the thread, listen, you pull it all here. Let me just recap it, and then you say, I want you to add any color you got. So what you got right here is, here's how the Bible works. Dominion was originally God's at creation. He gives delegated dominion to Adam and Eve. They lose that dominion to Satan. Jesus breaks the back of the enemy. He, as a kinsman redeemer, exercises his right of redemption at the cross, pays the price, buys back dominion over the earth, and then he now shares dominion and will in all of eternity with all of the sons and daughters of God who reign with him. That's amazing.